Hey, and welcome to Kallerhult Creations. My name is Kallerhult, and today you'll get to tag along as I paint this gorgeous paint by number canvas from Crafties. A while back I was contacted by Crafties and they asked me if I was interested in trying one of their paint by numbers kits. The painting I chose is called Mama and Baby, and I'll leave a link to it down below. The kit they sent includes everything I needed to make a complete painting, ready to hang on my wall. Well, I needed a cup of water to rinse off my brushes, but besides that, Crafties had me covered. In the package I received a canvas printed with red lines and numbers marking what colors goes where, and the different sections were also shaded in to make it easier to get a good overview of where the different color goes. I also got a large paper copy of the canvas, which really came in handy as a reference, especially when I started to cover sections of the canvas with paint and it was hard to see all the little printed numbers. Paint pots and a little postcard with a miniature picture of the completed painting along with the color codes and matching number stickers to put on the pots was also included, as well as brushes of different sizes, screws and these thingamajiggies to hang the finished canvas on the wall. I have been struggling a bit with joint pain in my hands and arms for the last couple of months, and it was perfect for me to sit down and paint one number at a time, devoting perhaps 15 to 20 minutes at a time. It was relaxing to just pop open one of the little pots and have a go at it, not needing to bother about mixing my own paints, and since the pots are resealable with the lids, I didn't have to worry about wasting paints that would dry out on a palette. That is usually the main things that deters me from painting with acrylics. I don't want to waste paint, and I can't always dedicate long stretches of time to sit down and paint. Speaking of paint, you get a fair amount of paint. I went over sections several times and I still had quite a lot of paint left in the little pots. The brushes comes in a good variety. Unfortunately, I didn't check the package thoroughly, so I actually missed that I had been sent 2 packages of brushes. But I noticed that as I was going in to finish up the later part of the painting. The brushes themselves are made for both watercolor, oils and acrylics, which means they work. They might not be top-notch and perfect for the actual medium. I found them a little bit too soft for being ideal to work with acrylics, but it certainly got the job done. Some of the brushes had some loose or uneven strands poking out, but I just trimmed that off and then they were good to go. And I'm definitely gonna keep them and use them now that I've completed the painting. The paint was really nice to use. It was good consistency, good coverage. You got quite a lot of paint, as I said before, and several pots of the colors that cover a large part of the canvas. I think they were very vibrant colors, and I'm also gonna use what's left over for upcoming projects. The canvas, which is a linen fabric canvas, came mounted, which is awesome because I am the unofficial queen of procrastination and I would probably have waited like a year or 2 before actually, mounting my finished painting and being able to hang it on the wall. As I mentioned, the sections you are supposed to paint are marked with red lines, numbers and shaded sections, and the only downside I have to say about this is that the actual print on the canvas doesn't always match up like the shaded sections. It's printed a bit askew. Also some areas didn't have numbers, and sometimes it was really hard to see what number went where, since some of the sections you're supposed to color in are really small. All of that doesn't really matter in the end because they're basically guidelines and not rules set in stones. I could also use a little photocopy of the art to figure out the missing colors, and in the end I gave myself some artistic freedom and adjusted sections I didn't quite get right. The way I set about painting this Crafties painting was to start with the lightest colors, finish one number before continuing on with the next. This also meant that the paint had time to dry before I added another color next to it, so it never got like smudged, and I never got like blending between different colors. In the end I went over sections several times where the numbers showed through, or the red outline was visible, or the color wasn't evenly applied. That's also one of the things I found like hardest, was to cover all of the red lines. I am used to working in thin layers and building up to the end result, and here it was beneficial to add on quite a thick layer from the get-go, especially with the lighter colors. Otherwise the line and the printed number would show through, but not always clear enough for you to see what number and corresponding paint you are supposed to use for the second and the third coat. This is where the larger printout of the canvas came in particularly good use. This is not like a big problem, I just want to, you know, put it out there, what was a bit of a struggle. I would most definitely want to have another go at a paint by number kit from Crafties. They have loads of different paintings you can choose from on their websites. I got to pick one from their exclusive artist collections, but they also have the classic collection with famous paintings such as Mona Lisa and The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci, The Scream by Edward Munch, and Monet's famous Water Lilies and Japanese Bridge. You can also upload your own photo and have it turned into a painting kit, and that would be really cool to do. One of their paint by number kits that I really want to do is the classic Girl with a Pearl Earring by Johannes Vermeer. My current sketchbook has that particular painting as a cover, and I really love it. I also think that The Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh would make a really good painting in this style, because it's already like a bit abstract and in color sections, or made with kind of big strokes, if you know what I mean. Can you tell that I've never gone to art school? I have no idea what different techniques is called, okay? My suggestion to you is to look closely at the preview of the paint by number painting. At first I fell in love with an image with a really nice gradient sky, but since the technique to produce these painting kits uses a limited amount of paints or colors, the transition between the colors will be more noticeable. So same goes if you want to upload your own photo. Make sure that it doesn't have too many small details, as they might get lost in translation to the paint by number blueprint, or red print in this case. There are an abundance of paintings to choose from that looks really great and comes into its own, but I thought it would be worth mentioning. I think that these Crafties kits would make great gifts both for experienced and unexperienced artsy folks. On Crafties webpage you can sort through the different kits based on how complicated they are to complete. For kids, I would perhaps wait until they're about 9 or 10 years old before they get one of their own, or perhaps you could get a kit together and you and your kid can have some quality time. Crafties has kindly given me an affiliate link, so if you purchase a kit from their webpage using the link in my description, I will get a little small commission, so that would be nice. Anyways, I would really like to thank you guys for watching this video, and Crafties for sending me this painting to try out. I am really happy with the end result, and I hope you like it as well. Have a lovely day. Hej då!